All right, it's my pleasure now to welcome on Jake Coops-Blume. Jake, how you doing today, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, pretty good up here and nice and sunny in Tamworth.
Absolutely sunny in Tamworth. Absolutely miserable in Melbourne, but that's stock standard for Melbourne. So
Yeah,
uh, I don't get upset about it anymore, which is good. Before we get into your story and sort of why you've jumped on for a chat with us today,
yeah.
tell us who Jake is and sort of who he was before the accident.
Yeah. So I was just a 14-year-old like kid, this country kid. Like always grew up in the country, riding motorbikes on the farm, fishing and all that stuff. Into the racing, yeah, the motocross, and yeah, at the age of 14, sort of had my accident then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just moved on in life now, and yeah,
Well, before we get into the accident, let's quickly
yeah.
stay on motocross. Like, how did you get into that, and sort of why was that, or how special was that motocross for you?
Yeah, I sort of got into it like dad. He's always been in the bikes and family. Yeah, just family friends and stuff. And yeah, I've always had a passion for it. So yeah,
At age 18, you were in an accident whilst riding a motorbike, which ultimately left you as a C5 quadriplegic.
yeah.
What do you remember about that day?
Uh, I just remember, yeah, like I got up the morning, just did all my usual stuff, and was out in the track and just doing like a few laps. And I wasn't racing at the time actually. I was just doing a bit of training and stuff. And riding with a few mates, and yeah, sort of I don't know, went the wrong line, and yeah, the jump sort of kicked me over the handlebars, and yeah, like it was just I wasn't knocked out, and then I don't really remember much after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I just remember probably the most I remember is being in the back of an ambulance and then in a chopper, so then flying to Sydney. That's probably all I really remember.
Yeah. So for someone who doesn't know what a C5 quadriplegic is, what's that?
So basically like injuries up here in your
Yeah.
neck, and you don't have any use of your legs anymore or um, your fingers, like quadriplegic affects all four limbs. Luckily, I'm like still able to have arm movement, but just limited hand function and stuff like that. Yeah,
I know it's probably a hard realization to come to, but what was going through your mind at that point, sort of just after the injury, or when you sort of woke up in the hospital and sort of realized what had happened?
yeah, yeah. It was sort of hard to get my head around, and yeah, just think like I was just more thinking about what my friends and like all that were going to think of me when I got back to school, and just probably too much into the future, and wasn't worrying about like being in hospital and just getting healthy again and getting out of there. I was just more worried about what they were going to think of me. Like it was really it was hard. It was hard, but yeah,
How have your friends been since the accident?
most of them been really supportive, and just been there for me, and got me involved in stuff, and
How much of a relief is that? You talk about that fear of what they're gonna think or what they're gonna say. How much of a relief was that to realize that they were going to be supportive and make sure you're involved moving forward?
oh yeah, it was massive. Like it kept like my mind, like my mental health probably better, and just made me stay more positive and want to achieve more goals and stuff like that. But I'm not sure if what it would have been like if they didn't want to support me. But I'm just grateful for them, and
Yeah,
also
absolutely.
my family, and just dad mainly. He's probably my biggest one. Like was he's been there since day one. So yeah.
Yeah, talk about your dad and sort of what he's meant through this whole process.
Yeah, massive. Yeah, he probably nearly found it tougher than me. Like this, seeing his son there and couldn't really do much. Like obviously he was there like with me in hospital, but it's not like he was like a nurse or a doctor that could like fix stuff. And I don't know how he did it, but I don't know, we're still getting there. I don't know.
No, I think it's
It's
I'm obviously not a parent myself, but I think
yeah
that anyone would put themselves in a parent's shoes in a situation like this, and it would be incredibly difficult because of the fact that you can't really, it's all out of your control.
yeah it would, I don't know, because I'm not a parent either, but it would have been tough.
Yeah, absolutely. You're obviously at such a young age when this happened. You're still at school, so talk about that.
Yeah.
How did that sort of work while you were in the hospital, and like was the school very
yeah.
supportive and with everything that you were going
Yeah.
through?
Yes. So the school, I went to a boarding school. So, then in hospital, I didn't do much schoolwork. And then I thought I was going to have to repeat, like, because I was in hospital for 10 months. So I missed 10 months of school. And I thought I would have had to repeat a year. But luckily, my school was really supportive and kept me with my year group, and they just didn't want me to fall behind and lose my friends and stuff.
Talk about being in boarding school. I didn't go to
No,
boarding school, and I don't think I would have coped well. What was that sort of like?
so it was like an all boys boarding school, and it was pretty fun. Like just being with your mates every single day.
Bit of funny business.
Running amok. That was fun. I love that.
Yeah, you said you're in hospital for 10 months. I'm not going to ask you how difficult that was, because I imagine everyone would probably find that difficult and going through that process. But what was it like for you ticking off these, sort of small milestones while you're in the hospital and working towards getting out? And how beneficial was that for you?
Yeah, it was massive. Like, like, I just knew like I had to get stronger and just to get back to school and to I don't know, like get out of there, because I don't know, the more days I was spending in there, I think my mental health was getting worse, and it just it was really hard. But them little small goals, achieving them was massive. Like just being able to eat by myself, and I don't know, like like get into my, like sit in my wheelchair and just stuff like that, like small things that you wouldn't think of. They were really massive, just little goals that I had to achieve.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine, Josh Young, who's in a wheelchair, and he spoke about the rehab process, how, teaching himself these little things like being able to, to get down gutters and to do all this little stuff that, really, you don't think about it, obviously beforehand, but he's like, it really pumped him up.
Like when I was before my accident, I didn't know what a quadriplegic was, or like what was in, like what they went, like what their day was like, and just stuff like that. And then when it happened, and having this and little things that you don't think of every day, it's crazy.
There's a couple of moments I want you to get into for me. The first one's graduating school. Now, you sort of mentioned it there before that, you didn't want to get sort of left behind and all that, which is completely understandable. Going through everything, that you've had to go through, how great was it to be able to achieve that and to graduate from school?
It was one of my biggest like goals that I sort of set when I got out of hospital. Like I think if I wasn't in a wheelchair, I would have left in year 10, would have got a trade or something.
Mm-hmm.
But then sort of being in a wheelchair, Dad wanted me to finish school, and I haven't really decided what I want to do yet, but just yeah, just finishing school was massive, and just doing my HSC, and yeah,
Yeah.
it was really good to finish that.
No,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah,
I'll tell you a secret, mate. I'm 30, almost 31. I still don't know what I really want to do.
yeah,
So at 19, you've got a lot of time. So don't panic about that. There is one thing that I do want to mention about the whole, finishing school and sort of ticking that off.
yeah,
A cousin of mine who passed away from cancer, unfortunately, he completed his electrician trade. He knew he wasn't going to ultimately use it, but he still wanted to go through and do that. And I think that's a incredibly important lesson for everyone to, regardless of whether you do, whether you want to go into a trade or to do whatever you want,
yeah,
sometimes pursuing things and completing things does help you in the long stead. So I think the fact that while you might not know now what you want to do, there is so much time, it's not funny. And going through and completing that is going to hold you in such a high stead, sort of moving forward.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hopefully, I can decide what I want to do, but yeah, I'm not sure yet.
No, that's fine, mate. You'll be right. So the second thing, and I'm guessing this is probably the coolest thing, one of the coolest things, is getting your license. Now, I read a post of yours where when you got your license and you said that you never thought you'd get behind, the wheel of a car. Like, what was that feeling like, getting your license and then, going for a drive when you at some point was like, I'm not going to be able to do this in my life.
Yeah, yeah, like just when I got out, like I was still obviously young when I got out of hospital, and I seen all my mates getting getting their license, and I was like, God, like I'm never gonna like be able to drive a car, or yeah, just do them fun things like with your mates in a car and stuff like that. And then yeah, when I got my van and got it modified and stuff, and then it was later with me getting my license, but it was just still amazing to
Yeah.
get that in independence back. And yeah, I know that I've got my license later, but still got to get that independence back, and yeah, do the things like I just didn't think I was going to be able to do.
Just explain to someone like myself who obviously is not a quadriplegic or in a chair, just how important it is to have those, those things that you thought you'd lost.
Yeah, so yeah, especially being in like a rural area, I suppose like we haven't got a lot of public transport, and just having that van to be able to get places, and yeah, because it's really tough. Like I couldn't go from here to a shop without that car. Like it's too far. Like, and yeah, just some little things like that. It's yeah. So yeah, like obviously an able-bodied wouldn't think about that, like because you can get in any car and or stuff like that and go to a shop, or yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, just massive the independence it gives you.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Would the locals down at Tamworth Main Street see you hooning around, or
oh
are you pretty calm behind the wheel?
no, I'm pretty calm. I was a bit wild there at the start because it's like all hand controls, and
Yeah,
it's really touchy. And I was like, far out, I'm never going to be able to learn this, and I'm going to be the like wildest driver ever.
yeah.
But I eventually got it. So yeah.
Well, how do you learn? Explain to us what the car, like how the car's been modified.
So the front seat sort of it comes out now, and I've got a ramp on the side that I can control through my power chair, and the ramp comes down, and then I sort of drive in behind the wheel, and it like clicks into the floor, and then I've got my hand controls on either side of me, a brake and accelerator, and like another little steering wheel thing that I
Mhm.
put my hand in. Yeah, I need to do a video of how I like doing it. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
something I
No,
probably should.
yeah, you can take us for a spin down Main Street, Tamworth, and
Yeah.
Let the locals know what you think of them. I see you're also getting into cycling, and am I right in saying that you're thinking about playing wheelchair rugby?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to get into that.
Yeah. Which of those do you prefer more?
Uh, I don't know. I like the cycling.
Yeah.
Probably sort of goes back to the bike stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I like both, but probably cycling. It's probably one
Yeah.
of the bigger ones.
Yeah. Did you play rugby growing up?
No, so before my accident when I was younger, when I was 6, I've got an enlarged spleen and I wasn't allowed to play contact sport,
Yeah.
um, just because I could have ruptured it. So
Mhm.
yeah, I wasn't allowed to play contact sport. So yeah, that's why I went to the bikes. Like the doctor said, I wasn't meant to ride bikes, but
I was going to
you
say,
can't wrap
mate,
them up.
I was
You
like,
can't wrap
if you,
them up in cotton wool.
if you
Yeah,
can't play contact sport, I'm not sure how going over jumps on a motorbike would be any different.
yeah, but I don't know. I had to do something.
Are you a league man or are you a union man?
League
Okay, who's your team?
Manly.
Oh no. So I'm a very, very big Melbourne Storm fan, and I was at grand
Um,
final. I was at the grand final when Manly beat us pretty comfortably.
40-0.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no way.
I was a big Steve Menzies fan, so I was okay. I was okay seeing that, but outside of that, I hate Manly with a passion.
You beat us the other night.
Yeah, no, we did, but I tell you what, I'm very worried about. I know we're getting off topic here, but I'm very worried about Manly. I think Manly outside of Penrith is probably the only side that really can trouble us. Turbo could beat anyone on his day, honestly.
Yeah, he's a freak.
He is. When we spoke before this, you mentioned how you wanted to get into to do more public speaking and to get your story out more, doing podcasts and interviews and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
What is it about public speaking that made you sort of want to jump into it?
Um. So someone I sort of look up to is Dylan Alcott, um, and just how he goes about like telling his story and how he wants to make disability like mainstream and not as um, I don't know how to word it, but just I don't know, like I want to sort of do how he's doing it, how he's I don't know, just including disability and everything and not separating it from able bodies and disability people, like disabled people. Um, yeah, since being in a wheelchair, I've found it. I don't know, really public speaking, really interesting, and just how you can share your story and how it can impact on someone's life. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that one of the greatest things about Dylan is obviously he does so much incredible stuff with his podcast
yeah,
and with what he does with the music festival that's for people with disabilities, which is absolutely incredible. Is
yeah,
he removes the elephant in the room from the conversation, and he sort of encourages and sometimes pokes fun at himself,
yeah.
to completely remove the elephant from the room so that the conversation can just be two humans rather than an able-bodied person and someone in a wheelchair.
That ability festival that he throws, that's massive. Like, yeah, and really cool. Like, because you wouldn't see too many festivals accommodate for like disabled people like that. Like I know that there would be some, but not as big as that. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
amazing what he's doing.
no, absolutely. Now the Paralympics are obviously coming up. Talk about that, and sort of, is that something that you're excited to watch? Because
Yeah,
I'm guessing this is going to be like the first, or maybe one of the first times that you're going to be exposed to so many more of these athletes to potentially inspire you to take up, maybe a different sport or even
yeah,
just follow their career.
yeah. So there's a few followers like in the wheelchair rugby that are sort of like that I know just over social media.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm keen to watch, and hopefully they can go good and get the gold. But yeah, like I'm really keen to watch it, and yeah, hopefully I don't know the next one's in Paris, so hopefully I don't know if I can make it to that one, that'd be pretty cool. That's one of my biggest, probably my goals at the moment.
Yeah. And would you do that with the rugby?
Yeah, I'd try and do both, but yeah,
I
I'm not
like that.
sure. Yeah,
Rather than be a one sport athlete, you're going in the cycling as well.
yeah, I want to. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
then
that's a goal.
Brisbane's around the corner too. So
Yeah, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I think I'm pretty sure the 2028 one is in LA, which would be pretty cool.
have you been to LA before?
No,
Let me tell
no, I
you.
haven't. I haven't been overseas, so
Oh, okay. Well,
well, I have been overseas. I've been on a cruise, but that's
yeah.
about it.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you, the second you get to LA, your life will change. You will never want to leave.
It's pretty. Have you been there? Yeah.
I've been a few times.
Yeah.
I still remember the first time that I went there, and it was very surreal. America is very different to Australia. It's very full on, but California is 25 degrees in winter and sunny, and it's hard to be miserable in a place like that. That's what I've found.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your artwork. I know that's something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Why is that important to you? And, sort of what was it that pushed you into it?
Uh, Sort of. I don't know. Since lockdown, I've sort of looked back into my a little bit of my family's history. I'm on sort of my mum's side. My pop was. I never got to meet him, but he was Aboriginal. So I've been sort of just doing a few paintings that like while in lockdown, giving me something to do, and just really passionate about the Aboriginal culture and that side. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's something so your Aboriginal background is something that something you're learning about and
yeah,
interested in learning about.
yeah. And I did art during my HSC, so I've always been really like an artistic person. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Talk about those paintings. How difficult are they? Because
oh,
some they're incredible to look at, but they look like they might take 4 weeks to do.
they're hard when you got limited hand function, and yeah, you're pretty shaky. Yeah, just doing all them little dots. Yeah, it does take me a fair while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just do it in small batches, like small portions, and yeah, just I don't know, do it when I'm bored or got nothing to do. Yeah,
Let's sort of go back to the public speaking thing, because I feel like a lot of people probably don't a lot of people can relate to the fact that public speaking is incredibly difficult.
yeah,
Like, the funniest thing about me is that I never stop talking, but if you put me in front of a crowd, I could
yeah.
not do it. I honestly couldn't do it. Like, have you always been confident in speaking in front of people, or are you sort of similar to me?
So I did it so at school when I think it was when I was in year 12. Yeah. Anyway, we had this thing every week when we did the year not the year the school assembly, and it was a gratitude challenge, and someone got nominated each week. So like a teacher would get nominated, and then they had to nominate a student to do it.
Mhm.
Anyway, one of the teachers nominated me, and anyway, I had to do a video of what I was grateful for, and then present it in front of the school. And ever since then, I've sort of been really confident. And it was really hard, that one in front of the school. But now, I don't know, I'm not too worried about what people think. And I think I could do it in front of a crowd.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think a lot of people that do struggle speaking in front of a crowd, they have that same what would probably be an irrational fear that
Yeah,
people will make fun of you, or people will talk over you, heckle you, whatever. But I think uh, the best thing that someone ever told me is that, and this was from a musician. So, but I guess you could apply this to, say, if you're going out and doing a talk in public, the people there have paid to hear you speak. They don't want to hear you. They're not there to listen to you, stuff up or to jump all over you. They're here to hear your story. They're here to, be inspired by that. So I feel like, and it's very easy to say, to take this when you do say go in front and speak of a crowd, but that's a really good thought to probably have in the back of your mind, that when you go, out somewhere, whether it's a school or a workplace, that they're there to listen to your story and be inspired by it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about gratitude. You sort of mentioned it there. How difficult has it been for you to find that gratitude, considering everything that's happened? Or is that something that, from almost day dot, you were sort of like, all right, this is what I've got and this is what I'm grateful for, and there's no use, harping on what I don't have?
Yeah, Matt, I'm just grateful just to, I don't know, really still be alive. But I've got to be grateful for the things that I have. Like I could be in a worse situation. Like I could be on a breathing machine 24/7, or have a brain injury. Like I couldn't imagine having that. And I just think there is someone out there doing it tougher than me. And that's sort of why I've stayed sort of so positive. And obviously I do have my down days and stuff like that, but everyone does. And that's what's kept me pushing forward and achieving them little goals and doing my physio.
Talk about, you've mentioned a couple of times your mental health, and obviously your down days, which absolutely nobody in the world would, criticize you for having. But how do you pick yourself up in those days?
I actually go to listen to a few podcasts. Some of them, the one where you listen, like Nick Patar, just some of the stuff that he's been saying, and just some of that stuff. Like I listen to that and just think, God, obviously I could be in a worse situation, or and that sort of gets me motivated again. And I see other people, just achieving little goals, and then Dylan also, with his wheelchair stuff, the sports he's doing and the stuff he's doing, it's just amazing. And it gets me motivated and want to keep achieving them little goals again.
For a young man to have the perspective that you have and show, honestly, is mind-blowing to me. Do you understand how much admiration people will have when they hear this story, and for you not only wanting to share this story, but to go out and try and be better and inspire every day?
I have a lot of people that message me or and come up to me and just say how inspirational I am to people. And I don't really recognize it, but I'm glad that I'm I don't know, inspiring people. And it's massive to me. It makes me want to just keep going and achieve more.
How does it make you feel when someone comes up to you and says, you've inspired me to do this or inspired me to do that?
Oh it makes my day. I just I don't know, it makes me really happy and just glad that I'm inspiring them people and helping them in their in their life, really.
I know that we sort of touched on before the fact that you don't really know sort of what you want to do with the rest of your life, which is completely fine, but talk about what you want to do next. What's something on your mind right now of where you want to go, say, for the rest of this year, obviously if lockdown permitting, but sort of moving forward, what's something you want to do and what you want to tick off and achieve?
My goal right now is to keep going with my cycling. Sort of not really worrying about the wheelchair rugby at the moment, just more because obviously Sydney's in lockdown, and that's where sort of more the wheelchair rugby is based. but with my cycling, I can keep doing it here, and then hopefully I can get down to Ballarat, and there's a nationals event at the start of the next year, and that's where I want to get to there. So yeah, that's one of my goals at the moment.
Yeah, and with the public speaking.
Yeah, I want to keep going with it, and if lockdown goes away, and I can even just like small groups like in schools and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that stuff.
Do you find that sharing the story helps you?
Yeah, it does. I think. Just yeah, I think it does. Yeah.
If it helps you and you think it helps you, then that's the most important thing. Look, Jake, thank you very much, mate. You're an absolutely incredible human, incredible young man who's going to achieve a lot of things.
Yeah.
I hope that you do come down to Ballarat, because Ballarat's only a couple of hours from here. So I'll definitely come down, cheer you on. And
cool.
Hopefully we'll see you do some more public speaking and come on some more podcasts, because, mate, you're an absolute star in the making, and I look forward to seeing, what you do next.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been really good. I've loved having the chat and getting my story out there. It's, really good.